The men's parallel bars final is coming up at the World Championships here in Jakarta. I like the way they've made the effort to laminate those, safeguarding against the rain that you sometimes get at all times of day here in Jakarta. Well, they're laminated, but hopefully no one will be lamenting their fate in this parallel bars final. Wish the best of fortune to all of the athletes. We're starting with Daniel Marinov. The 20-year-old will get us underway. He was the 10th best in qualification. We're missing the joint 7th best qualifiers due to the 2 per country rule. Zhang Boheng and Hashimoto Daiki not qualifying because of their teammates performing higher than them. Donnell Whittenburg, oh my goodness, what a 24 hours he's had. The champion of the world on the rings. 6th best in qualification for this final. TSUNOGAI Tomoharu of Japan, the junior champion of the world 2 years ago. He comes into this senior final as the 3rd best in the preliminary round. Japan has won 22 medals on this apparatus at the World Championships. Now, what else can one say about ZOU Jingyuan? Mr. Parallel Bars himself. 5 of the last 7 titles have been won by the People's Republic of China on this apparatus, including 3 by him alone. Angel Barajas, a young contender, the 5th best in qualification and the Olympic silver medalist on the horizontal bar. The true trailblazer from Colombia. The higher ranked of the 2 Japanese competitors, this is OKA Shinnosuke, the 2nd best in qualification. He won the bronze medal on the parallel bars at the Olympic Games. It actually was the 600th medal Japan had won at the Olympic Games and Olympic Winter Games combined. SHI Cong of the People's Republic of China, the 4th best in qualification, bronze medalist at the World Championships in 2021 and the silver medalist last time. Can he make it full colours here? We'll finish with the experienced Vladislav POLIASHOV, the 30-year-old who won a team gold at the World Championships in 2019 after taking silver in 2018. He also has medals from the European Championships, European Games and World University Games. The finalists in the men's parallel bars competition. ZOU Jingyuan of the People's Republic of China, the top performer in qualification in a move that surprises absolutely nobody in the world. Well, we are a matter of moments away from the start of this men's parallel bars competition. Ollie Hogben here, and I'm overjoyed to be joined by Sophia Campana, athlete ambassador for these championships, an elite level gymnast as well. We've got an elite level competition coming up here. Whenever ZOU Jingyuan is around, the challenge is how does anyone else stand a chance of winning the gold medal? So good is he. As an athlete, if you've got someone like that in the final, can it affect your mentality? Can you look at them and think, well, there's nothing I can do, or do you just manage to keep them out of your mind?
That's a good question. I think this one depends on the athlete, and it's really important that when you go into a competition, you are thinking about you, yourself, and the apparatus. And if your mind starts to wander to others, it just pulls you away from what your focus needs to be. So a lot of the gymnasts are trained to just focus on the apparatus and their skills, and maybe it makes me a little hungrier knowing that they have a big competitor out there to give it their best and see what they can do.
That's an interesting way of looking at it, actually, yes, that you use that person to galvanize you, to think, well, I'm in their company and now this is my free shot to try and beat them.
Sure, and also inspiration. You know, competing with athletes who are so incredibly highly ranked, to feel that, wow, I'm here too. What an honor.
It's one of the great cliches in elite level sport, but it's a cliche because it's true. A lot of cliches stem from great truth. That idea of just going out there and focusing on oneself. And it must be so difficult to actually develop that mentality. We hear athletes talk about it all the time. They've learned to develop it. Was it something that you had to develop as an athlete, or was it inherently in you, or did you cultivate it?
You know, as a kid, it was definitely more, I thought less about it. So I was just going out there performing, and performing it came naturally to me. As I grew into my teenage years, that's when fear and logic started to set in. And I said, wow, I'm feeling a lot of anxiety and nerves from the crowd nowadays. So at that point was when we really started to train, okay, how can I find focus? When you move into crowds like this and you have thousands of people watching you, that's another step, is not just the other competitors, but all of the crowd and the noise and the cheering that will happen randomly maybe from another competitor on a different apparatus while you're competing, and how do you stay focused through the distractions?
One of the things that I used to use as a mantra when I was a school teacher and when I was training teachers at a university was that confidence is a learned skill. We don't have to regard it as a thing that you're either born with, that you either have it or you haven't. We should never say to people, oh, be more confident, believe in yourself. You have to teach people how to believe in themselves. As you just said there, fear is also a learned skill, isn't it? It's something that we grow into fear, actually, often as we get older. And all of these things, confidence, fear, they're habit forming. And we shouldn't regard them as innate things that just because we feel confident one day, we won't feel unconfident the next day. They fluctuate, they change.
Absolutely, I love that, and it reminds me of one of my favorite quotes that I tell to a lot of gymnasts that I teach is, courage is not the absence of fear, it's having fear and trying it anyways.
Brilliantly put. Now let us see how this men's parallel bars final unfolds. The competitors have finished their preparations. We wish them good fortune as they take to this most geometrically fascinating of apparatus. And we are looking to see how they can control those paces with the hands that can sometimes be an issue on the parallel bars. How much they can hit the handstands the first time. And I always like to acknowledge the great late Mitch Fenner, former BBC commentator, who used to say, click the heels, always look for the clicking of the heels together in those handstands. Daniel MARINOV is the first to go. 10th best in qualification, 14.2. Yeah, little pace. Lovely amplitude on the Bavsar. The Amadov work shows real poise. That's a nice beginning, isn't it?
What a dismount.
Lovely old start from Daniel MARINOV. That has set a challenge for the rest of the pack. No wonder he pumps his fist at the conclusion of that routine. Lots of quite tidy looking gymnastics there from this young man. Let's look back at it.
Incredible control on this press up.
That's where he took the little pace coming out of the Tippelt. Bavsar was really nice.
Look at that shoulder flexibility, allowing him to tap the way he does.
One wonders if we're going to see a very different sort of number for Daniel Marinov compared to the preliminary stage. As I mentioned earlier, he has come into this final by virtue of the 2 per country rule. So we had 3 gymnasts from China and 3 from Japan who were in the top 8. So much of those nations excel on the parallel bars. But naturally, due to the rule book, Jang Bo-hung and Hashimoto Daiki not taking part. And that's allowed this 10th place qualifier to come in. He's taken advantage of it. .466, so he does manage a gain of almost 3/10 from qualification. This is an inspirational gentleman, somebody whose triumph on the rings made a lot of people very, very happy, not just in the United States of America, but in the gymnastics community worldwide. He's hugely respected as Donnell Whittenburg, and now he comes in for the party after the triumph of yesterday, but it's not time to celebrate just yet. He's got a job to do on the parallel bars.
Oh my goodness, look at that catch. Wow.
Beautiful height on the straddle front. Do you know, he's not having a bad World Championships, is he, Donnell Whittenburg? I think he might be considered to be in form at the moment.
Just a bit in form. Wow.
What a delight to watch him. He is 31. He's the oldest to qualify for this final. The champion on the rings yesterday. And let's be honest, it's a very different skill set, rings and parallel bars.
Totally, completely different muscles being utilized. Wow, look at that. Oh, perfect catch. Important to appreciate, as you can see, the chalk underneath his arms here, that they catch right below their armpits, right on their arms, and they actually build calluses to be able to catch like that.
He had a difficulty score of 5.8 in qualification. We do anticipate a 6 or beyond difficulty score to come later on. He's such an impressive technical gymnast, Donnell Whittenburg. But he also has the explosivity that he needs in order to get the height to attack some of those technically strong skills. 14.233 is virtually the same as qualification, very small drop. The only difference, even though the execution's gone up a fraction, is he didn't get the stick bonus this time. Nice to see Patrick Hoops and his father sitting in the crowd watching. His dad came up and had a chat with me after the competition yesterday. I'm not sure he knew where he was or what planet he was on after the emotion that the family was feeling with Patrick Hoops getting onto the Pommel Horse podium. They were thrilled, rightly so. To Tsunogai Tomoharu of Japan. And this is the gentleman who won the gold medal at the Junior World Championships 2 years ago. He is a wonderful gymnast on this apparatus, very smooth.
Just looks like he's flying. That moment of
So crisp, isn't it?
So crisp.
Very nice. Oh, he's a great young gymnast on this apparatus, 19-year-old TSUNOGAI Tomoharu. There was a phone loudly ringing just towards the end of that performance. I hope it wasn't for him, he was busy at the time. I'll call you back. Won the World University Games gold medal on this apparatus very recently. There's a lot to commend in his overall levels of precision. And he is, interestingly, a product of Funabashi Municipal High School, which is the same high school that Hashimoto Daiki went to. And those of you who've been enduring my commentary for a long time will know that I go on and on about Funabashi Municipal High School because it's one of the greatest sporting high schools in Japan, if not in the world. And it brings through so many fantastic young athletes who are trained in a very focused environment. As a result, you tend to get people coming from that school with a very good mindset as young elite competitors. I don't think it's any coincidence that he attended the same institution as Hashimoto Daiki. This is the high school, after all, that had a soccer team, an association football team that was so good it actually nearly beat the league champions some 20 years ago in the Japanese Cup. So he's now at Juntendo University as well, which is a brilliant institution, and he scores 14.5, which puts him into the lead. Same score as qualification. We now come to one of those rare things, a gymnast who gives away virtually nothing in execution, who consistently scores right up well into the nines. ZOU Jingyuan, the 27-year-old from the People's Republic of China. The gymnast who is the reigning two-time consecutive Olympic champion on this apparatus. 3 times a world champion on the parallel bars too.
Incredibly smooth. Look at that perfect line. Oh, wow. My goodness.
Divine.
Whoa.
Divine gymnastics from ZOU Jingyuan. There are little flourishes to his work. He does many of the same skills that we see from many other gymnasts, but his bavsar involves incredible arching of the body. He gets so much height. His tipelt is almost slow and then incredibly fast moving up into the handstand, so that you see this beautiful sense of poise, the same coming out of the straddle front, that little bend of the back. It's all just so aesthetic. They say in life the devil's in the detail, and this is one of the most detailed gymnasts in the world. It's rare that people are able to look slow and fast at the same time.
True. Combining the two in a short amount of time to get through your routine and switch rhythms back and forth.
When you look at the very greatest athletes across so many sports, whether they're wonderful alpine skiers or figure skaters, tennis players, one of the things they all have, and this gentleman has it, again, that height, that's the thing that makes that Babsar different, is he is somebody who seems to have more time than anyone else to complete his skills.
He really takes time in his handstands to prep mentally and then go for his skill.
ZOU Jingyuan, 15.466 in qualification. He did have the single 10th stick bonus. He is unsurprisingly the reigning national champion on the apparatus, as if you wondered. As I said earlier, 3 times a world champion on the apparatus, the reigning Asian Games champion. Won the World University Games in Chengdu in 2023. His own father presented him with the gold medal. 15.3, he goes into the gold medal position. He's going to be very difficult to catch with a score like that. Very difficult. And you may be looking right there at the 4-time champion of the world on the parallel bars. What a privilege to witness. Now we're into the second half of this competition. The warm-up's taking place. We're going to see Angel Barajas, we're going to see OKA Shinnosuke, SHI Cong and Vladislav Poliashov. The first reserve, Ferhat Arujan. That tells you something about the quality of this final. If Ferhat Arujan of Turkey is a reserve gymnast, if he can't get in to the final, the Olympic bronze medalist from Tokyo. And just to remind you, after this, we've still got the women's floor final to come and the men's horizontal bar final. Lots still to enjoy. There's OKA Shinnosuke, the Olympic all-around champion and the bronze medalist at the Paris 2024 Games on the parallel bars. But from Paris to Indonesia to Jakarta, SHI Cong, runner-up at the World Championships in Antwerp, bronze medalist in Kitakyushu, joining OKA Shinnosuke in the Indonesia arena. And we're so delighted to be in the city of Jakarta and also the nation of Indonesia. And if you do have a spare moment, or more than a spare moment, you'll need a lot of moments, do some reading into the history of Indonesia. It's an absolutely extraordinary history. Culturally, it's a remarkable place. There are virtually more languages spoken here than in any other nation on earth, hundreds of languages. A nation that goes right up into the heart of Southeast Asia. It also borders Papua New Guinea. You have so much diversity. And goodness knows, it's a wonderful thing to celebrate diversity. Something we should all celebrate more often. Angel Barajas, the 5th best in qualification. It's been a joy, hasn't it, to see this great young Colombian come through on the world stage.
Absolutely.
The Colombians have a very fine track record on this apparatus.
Wow, very nicely done.
Takes a little adjustment step coming out of the pike position, but he's still very early on in his senior career, only 19, already an Olympic medalist, already the first Colombian to achieve that in the sport of gymnastics. What an exciting future he's got. And the difficulty of single rail work as well, that's important to notice. I always say that if you're watching parallel bars for the first time, if you're newer to gymnastics, don't always look at where the feet are, look at where the arms are. Sometimes the gymnast goes to working on just one rail, and that naturally impacts the difficulty score very positively. Hard enough doing a handstand on 2 of those bars, let alone on a single one.
Right, and balancing after a skill like that.
He's a young man of great faith, that's very important to him. Takes his education very seriously as well. He does a lot of online studying to ensure that he is keeping pathways open to himself after his gymnastics career comes to a close. Very close to his family as well. His family put a lot of effort into helping him train, even in very limited financial circumstances. I've mentioned before his older brother, Jason, who worked in a pizzeria to support the family and help pay for his younger brother's training. His mother, Angelica, an incredible support to him. And after the Olympic Games, he was offered a full scholarship to the University of Santander in Colombia, which will have had a great impact on him. He was named the Athlete of the Year by the Colombian Olympic Committee. Talks to his mum before every single competition, wherever in the world he is. Big crowd in the Indonesia arena. There's been a great atmosphere at these championships, hasn't there?
Quite excitement. And this being the first World Championships that Indonesia specifically hosts, it is beautiful to see so many young, aspiring athletes. They're here witnessing some of their heroes live for the first time. And even seeing gymnastics at this level live for the first time, it's a completely different experience than watching it on TV. Up close, you get to see the power from these athletes, the physiques, the muscles that produce the incredible skills that we see. It looks like they're flying, and so many aspiring athletes are here with their eyes wide open, starstruck.
You're absolutely right. It is very different when you see gymnastics live for the first time in an arena. There are certain things that catch you out. One of them is that the uneven bars are a lot smaller than you think they are, because television always makes empty space seem bigger. The floor is smaller than you think it is. The pommel horse is a lot smaller than you think it is. I've had that comment made by so many people when they've come to watch the sport of gymnastics for the first time, particularly about the bars, that they expect them to be this sort of huge apparatus, and they really aren't. 14.366 for Angel Barajas. He's in 4th position. And to go back to what you said about the crowd, there's somebody in this crowd that's going to represent their country at some point. We don't know who it is, but we'll find out in years to come.
Yes.
Because there's always someone, isn't there?
Yes, yes.
There's always a gymnast who says, I was there at the World Championships when I was 3-4 years old. That's what made me want to do it.
Yes.
OKA Shinnosuke is the antepenultimate gymnast to go. The second best in qualification, 14.533. He made it onto the podium in front of the world in Paris. Oh, has to reset. That will be rather costly.
Incredible save there, though, in handstand after. He's able to regain tightness and a handstand.
He's another who has a very smooth action to the Bavsar skill. Just so much excellence consistently from the Japanese on this apparatus. They do it so well. OKA Shinnosuke, very nice to watch.
I love how you say elegance, because it really is so elegant, the way they tap, the way they fly, catch.
Elegance and power are not mutually exclusive things. Sometimes when we've talked about gymnastics over the years, it's almost been a case that someone gets to be either elegant or gets to be powerful, and actually it's a complete misconception, because you cannot, in a sport like gymnastics, be elegant unless you are by nature powerful.
It's true. It's true. It reminds me of ballerinas. They look so light and effortless. You wouldn't know how much muscle they actually have. Impressive that he finished his routine standing up his dismount, because the way he had to plunge and push back up to handstand requires a lot of extra strength that he wasn't planning on exerting in this routine. He managed to still pull it off.
Yes, sometimes it can catch up with an athlete, can't it, right at the very end?
Yes, they're not used to exerting that amount of energy when they practice, so when they improv in meets, adrenaline certainly helps. And you just hope that they can find the breath and endurance to still finish through.
His father was a huge fan of Abe Shinnosuke, the director of the Yomiuri Giants baseball team. He named his son Shinnosuke so he would too become a superstar. 13.3 is the score for the Olympic champion. Amazing to think that he's made his senior world championship debut over a year after winning the all-around gold medal at the Olympic Games. Very unusual order in which to go. We've got two left in this men's parallel bars final. SHI Cong scored 14.4 in qualification, the fourth best, and he is looking to complete a full set of colours on this apparatus at the World Championships, having won silver 2 years ago and bronze 2 years before that. Knows his way around this apparatus. Very experienced on it.
Beautiful, so smooth.
That was an uncharacteristic moment from him. That will be a really substantial cost to the execution score. And then he's straight back into it.
This is where athletes really need to focus. When things don't go quite as planned, can they gain back their concentration and finish the routine?
Yes is the answer. He can gain the focus back. He can finish the routine. Tough gentleman, SHI Cong. but a tough moment in that routine, and it will really affect the execution score. We will have a Chinese gymnast leading, though, with 1 to go because of ZOU Jingyuan.
Here you can see he has protective pads around his arms, as we talked about earlier. A lot of those landings being right there, you are allowed to have some sort of protection. Reduce the pain on those catches there.
Beautiful sense of symmetry in the tuck position, opens up so nicely out of it.
It's incredible how close they are to that bar, yet so precise as they dismount. Twisting and flipping right above it.
The 24-year-old from the east of China, the city of Suzhou in Jiangsu province. City famous for the Han Dynasty terracotta armies. 13.1 Shi Cong. Naturally, execution is going to be low for what is essentially a fall. We are about to enter the last performance of this men's parallel bars final. And it's a very experienced competitor who is now stepping up to the apparatus. Vladislav POLIASHOV has been a world champion with the team. He's been a European Championship medalist, European Games medalist, a World University Games medalist, and he's been on World Cup podia. No doubting his credentials, no doubting his quality. He was the 9th best in qualification with a score of 14.233. A little reset to get back up into handstand, but snapped down on it. Good amplitude in the straddle front, and a lovely conclusion as well. Some rapid work from Vladislav POLIASHOV, the 30-year-old, to bring to a close the men's parallel bars final, with ZOU Jingyuan sitting at the top of the table on 15.3. TSUNOGAI Tomoharu second, and Daniel MARINOV third. Nice performance.
Very nice. The way he resetters here is quite astonishing.
A lot of experience in this man. A lot of understanding of how to navigate a major final.
Strong to push back to center.
And quite a steady looking conclusion to the routine as well. Decent positioning. If he achieves what he did in qualification, he'll be a fair bit higher. It's 13.966 for Vladislav POLIASHOV. So he is down by about a third of a mark from qualifying, but he's in 6th position in this final. He's the only one that gets the landing bonus. There is the champion of the world, ZOU Jingyuan, and frankly, it never seemed in doubt for a moment. Unbelievable quality. He wins it by 0.8 of a mark over TSUNOGAI Tomoharu The junior world champion doing that most difficult of things, turning from junior to senior and staying in contention. He wins silver just ahead of Daniel Marinov, the 20-year-old, who secures bronze. And that for Marinov is incredible. He was the 10th best in qualification. The classified results in the men's parallel bars final: bronze to Daniel Marinov, silver to TSUNOGAI Tomoharu, and the gold to ZOU Jingyuan. That's his 4th world championship title on the parallel bars. This man is without parallel. He stands alone. I think a special word there to Daniel Marinov as well. 10th best in qualification and winning the bronze medal is a quite extraordinary accomplishment. Beneficiary of the 2 per country rule. And he turned that to his advantage. We're going to move on soon to the women's floor final, but let's have a look back at the best moments of this parallel bars competition. To bring you the award ceremony for the parallel bars competition. The bronze medal is Daniel Marinov. Taking the silver medal, TSUNOGAI Tomoharu. What an exciting debut senior championships he's had after being such a junior star. Frankly, it never seemed like it would be anyone else. This gentleman is almost unreal on this apparatus, his quality. He's a joy to behold, and he is your world champion again for the 4th time on the men's parallel bars. It's ZOU Jingyuan from the People's Republic of China. We'll now have the national anthem of the People's Republic of China.
And ladies and gentlemen, we all stand up for the national anthem of the People's Republic of China.
And there they are, the medalists in the men's parallel bars competition at the World Championships here in Jakarta.